Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be doing a what I used from my hospital bag type video, or if you want to think about it like a reaction to what I packed in my hospital bag. I have my what's in my hospital bag for baby number 2 video pulled up. I'm gonna watch it and remember what I packed and tell you what I did and did not use. So I will have that video linked somewhere for you. If you want to go and watch it, great, appreciate it. But I'm gonna tell you what I actually used from the bag. And I will say, I feel like I used a lot more of what we packed this time than I did with my first child. Just saying. So the first thing I mentioned bagging are games, and we played, I don't even think we got through a full game. Honestly, we played a little bit to try to distract me right before she came, but honestly she came so fast we didn't have time, and I was in like so much pain that I couldn't focus. We tried to play a game sometime whenever she was napping, like before people were coming to see her, because it wasn't enough time for us to sleep. So we tried to play, we didn't get to finish, and then right before we left, while we were waiting on like to be discharged and whatnot, we tried to play and it didn't work. But I would still recommend bringing games because you never know what's gonna happen. And I will say, with my first, we forgot to bring games, and we're getting induced, and in theory when I was filming this, we had planned to be induced, like we had scheduled the date. So in theory you could be there a really long time, so definitely pack games and snacks. You'll want them, trust me. So it looks like I went through clothing first, and I did bring a t-shirt. I think I ended up wearing it home, but honestly I can't remember. But the first thing I'm mentioning packing, being intentional about and knowing I was going to use, were nursing tanks or tank tops. If you don't plan to nurse, this might not go for you, but sometimes you get hot and you want to do skin to skin, or if you want to do a lot of skin to skin with baby or have them touching your skin, a t-shirt really isn't the way to go. But I loved the nursing tanks. That is what I wore. They had enough padding, at least the ones I got. They were from Target. They were just Target's nursing tanks. They had padding in them, so I didn't have to wear a nursing bra as well, and I felt put enough together if people were to come in. And if anything, I know that I packed a cardigan. I think that's probably the next thing that I mentioned, just throwing that on. I also used that cardigan as a pillow because those pillows stank. We did not bring our own pillows. I know a lot of people do, but for some reason that's just like gross to me. I don't know why, but like the thought of bringing my own pillow in to the hospital grosses me out. I know that's silly. So if you want to bring your own pillow, do that. But I also doubled my cardigan as a pillow. But the nursing tanks, 10 out of 10, recommend. That's what I wore the whole time there. And I also brought like comfy shorts and a pair of comfy like lounge pants. I wore both and I liked both. So being comfortable, I feel like, is key. But also, especially, you know, after you just had a baby, you don't want to be in that gown. It feels gross, and it feels nice to feel like yourself, at least somewhat, or feel somewhat put together, have some semblance of normalcy. So I would recommend bringing comfy clothes that will make you feel like yourself. I did also bring a pair of slippers and like slipper socks. I really just ended up using the slippers. I just kept them by my bed, slipped them on when I was walking around or went to the bathroom or anything. And then we did have a pair of shower shoes. Again, the shower grosses me out, the bathroom in general grosses me out. So recommend. We just had flip-flops. Like they were like the cheap $2 flip-flop. I don't know if they're actually $2, but you know, the cheap flip-flops that you can get. We got those for the shower in the bathroom. It was nice to have them. We just kept them in there. They dried because they were like the foamy plastic whatnot. But recommend those. Here's the first thing I did not use. I bought like a big robe. So I had my cardigan, but then I also bought like a nice longer robe. I didn't end up using the longer robe. I just wore the cardigan because the cardigan was kind of like a robe. It was actually in the sleep section of Target whenever I bought it. So in theory, I should have just brought the one. I didn't need to bring this second one. I packed it, but I didn't end up using it. I just used my robe cardigan. The next thing that I did not use, I packed like my prenatal and like lactation supplement and powder drink mixes just in case. I packed the prenatal just in case they were going to give it to me, but they gave it to me there. And then the supplements for breastfeeding to help your milk supply come in, I did not need. Thankfully, she latched and was good right away, which was awesome. And my milk came in really fast, which was also nice. So I didn't end up using these. But I would have if those two things hadn't happened, or at least the one hadn't happened. Another thing I didn't end up using until we got home was this Frida Mom Sore Nipple Set. There was a balm and a spray. They give that to you there, or at least they had a cream and then they had the gel pads. That is the one thing I wish I'd actually packed more of or asked for more of at the hospital, are the cooling gel pads. So I guess I technically wouldn't have to pack them. I could have just asked for them there again. But I didn't end up using this until we got home. But definitely, if you're a breastfeeding mama, you want the creams and you want the patches. Another thing I specifically mentioned is a claw clip. I'm surprised I don't have one in right now. I literally live in these claw clips. When I had our son, I cut my hair like to like here, or yeah, literally like about right here. But I didn't want to do that this time. Technically, I waited till after, which was just a bad idea in general to do that. To cut my hair, I did not need to. But I did use that claw clip. I had to have Jacob grab it whenever we were about to do the thing, and I was real in pain. I threw it up, and he clipped it right up here for me because I was like, I don't want it on my neck. I don't want to feel anything. So I did use the claw clip for the labor part, but then afterwards, whenever I got to take that first glorious shower, I ended up doing just 2 braids because it was easier, and I didn't bring my straightener or anything, or really any products for my hair, so that was just easier to do. So I guess the claw clip and like little elastics key. If you have super short hair, I don't know exactly, but something that's gonna get your hair up and out of your face for the labor part, and then whatever you want to do to again make yourself feel nice and good after delivery. Okay, the next thing I go over is what I packed like for my toiletries. Now this, I don't think that there's anything really specific in here that I packed for having a baby, except for like a lip balm. I knew I wanted a lip balm in case things got chapped like on my lips, which I used my Ageless Agape one. I'll have my natural skincare makeup brand linked down below. I definitely should have brought the Ageless Agape cream for my stretch marks right after, but I completely spaced because I meant to put it in after because we use it day to day, and I completely forgot to. So I will link that below if you want to check it out. Check out all the other things we have. We've got skincare, makeup, body care, hair care, all of the things, and the list of benefits is also on the website as well. But this bag is always packed, so there's nothing really special in it. I mean, I knew I wanted a lotion, I knew I wanted a serum, like just some nice skincare things, some body care things to use and have, again, to feel normal, feel pretty, feel nice. I packed makeup. I didn't use a lick of makeup, which it was just a personal decision. I just decided not to, but I did get my eyebrows tinted. I technically got a tint on my eyebrows and on my lashes, but it had gone away from my lashes by the time we ended up having her. It was still sort of there on my eyebrows, which was nice. I've found about myself that I feel a lot more put together if my brows are done, and by done I mean a little darker, and then usually If I do them after they're darker, I just take a clear brow gel through them, but I feel a lot better if it's done. But again, that's personal type preference. I did bring a perfume, and I don't think I ended up wearing it. Again, I just didn't have the time to really throw it on, but had I felt kind of gross, I think it would have been nice to have. I did make sure, obviously, bring deodorant, but I might also even bring like a spray deodorant, like all body or an all body deodorant, something like that. Again, just to feel nicer, especially if you can't shower right away and there are people who want to come see and you're okay with them coming to see, because obviously you can tell them no. But again, it just makes you feel nice, and especially right after you have a baby. Even after you shower, you get sweaty, you still get smelly, the hormones are crazy. Bring the deodorant. I brought breast, like, nipple covers. Not nipple covers. Whenever you're leaking, I brought those. I didn't end up using them because my milk came in, but it wasn't something like, it wasn't like shooting out or anything. And I wasn't leaking unless she was feeding. So I guess I could have used them, I just didn't. But one thing I did make sure to bring was mesh underwear, like the Secret Depends. Sorry, not mesh underwear. The Secret Depends underwear, because I did not want to wear their mesh underwear. I wore it the first day, which was fine because, you know, a lot of stuff's coming out. But by the second day, when it started to slow down a little bit, especially after I'd had my shower, I wanted something that felt more like not a huge diaper, and huge pad all up in there, all heavy and weird. So I definitely recommend, if you know you're gonna have a natural birth, to pack those, or if you know somebody who's planning a natural birth and you want to make them like a basket of things that they might not think to take or anything like that. The Depends diapers, nobody's above it. Trust me, you're not above it. It's great. Also on the diapers, pack more than you think, just in case, if anything, to feel safer. I did end up having somebody bring me more, just in case, so then I felt okay, because, you know, you want to change it. You want to change it all the time because it just feels nasty. So pack more than you think you need. Next thing, this is getting more into like the baby's stuff, or stuff for baby, is a letter board. I would recommend this. I would do the letter boards. You know, that way then you can put their name and their date or their time, or has whatever you want to put on it. But we bought a letter board for our first and for our second, and if we have another one, we'll buy another one specifically for that baby. That way then, you know, we plan to kind of like frame it and put it above their beds with their name, the date, the time. And then we also use that same letter board for her, like for the monthly photos. So it still has her name and it'll have 1 month. And like I said, whenever we're done doing that, then we'll put the original stuff that we put back on it. But I like that. I'm weird, kind of. Not really, I don't think, actually. But I like the letter board idea. Next thing we brought were swaddles. I brought a lot of swaddles, but I feel like I didn't bring the right kind of swaddles, I guess, maybe. So I should have known our first baby hated the Halo sleep sacks, and it turns out that our second baby also is not fond of them either. I put her in one whenever I just needed something quick and easy, because her brother was getting into who knows what. But she's not a big fan of them, and also most of them were too big for her, like the Halo sleep sacks were. But bringing like a stretchy swaddle, a muslin swaddle, those are our favorite. Hands down our favorite. That's what she's in right now. That was her brother's favorite too. I feel like I should have packed just a couple more maybe of those, because you never know what's gonna happen. Spit up bodily fluid nonsense. I probably would have packed more of those, not the Halo sleep sacks, but more of our like regular just time up swaddles. They do give you swaddles at the hospital too, but you know, for your cute little pictures, you might want it. That is another thing. I did bring a cute little set. Her brother had a set, and actually I brought the same set for her just to get a picture in it. And she looks just like her brother, and I don't know that you can decipher the two. But bringing, like, if you want a cutesy picture, so we got her a little bow and matching swaddle, making sure you have that as well. Or if you want a cute outfit, make sure you pack that. We did pack it, and we did use it. And actually, I know another thing I mentioned. Yeah, another thing I mentioned is we packed a couple little outfits, but honestly, I don't feel like we packed enough. With Owen, he was given like a shirt, and then we just kept him swaddled. But with her, they didn't give us that. I'm sure we could have asked for it. We just didn't. But I would honestly recommend, if you're going to bring a couple things, I would bring, they're the sleepers, but they're the footless ones, like, that are just like a sack. Like, that you can just pull their legs out. That was the easiest. That was actually what she stayed in the most, was one, it's the one I mentioned at the end. It's a cream one, and it tied at the bottom. That's what she actually stayed in most, and it was most convenient, especially just change your diaper. We didn't have to worry about anything, no buttons, no zippers, no nothing. It was just a pull up, pull down. That's it. Oh, I did bring an enormous amount of bows, and she only wore the one for a picture because it's too big for her head. But I made it work for the picture. So I did not need to bring those bows. But you know what? Bring whatever you want, girl. It mentioned that I packed a travel, like, shusher. But we didn't end up using it. Not because she didn't necessarily want it. I just feel like we were never sleeping, so we just kind of soothed her ourselves. So we didn't end up using that shusher with her. We used it a little bit with Ellen, but honestly not a lot. But yeah, that was everything I packed in my hospital bag that I used and didn't use specifically. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to subscribe down below. If you are expecting, or you know someone who's expecting, or you're just watching a watch, I'll link the last video that I just did. There are newborn must-haves. I think I'm gonna do like a mom must-haves or something along those lines, because there are definitely things I feel like that helped me get through a lot. So I want to share the knowledge that I have. But yeah, if you did enjoy, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, check out my reselling platforms, check out my natural skincare makeup line down below, subscribe, like all of the things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.